to the halfway line, 20 metres in from touch. Verrills keeps going on the keep going. He kicks into no man's land. It's gone out on the full. It really...
Yeah, I think the idea was all right, but it was just poorly executed. Who kicked that? Was it Verrills or was it Walker?
Was it Walker or Verrills?
I thought it was a left footer.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was Verrills.
Anyway, doesn't matter. It was a poor kick. That wasn't a bad setup until then. But they haven't had too many of them in this half. We've only got 7.5 minutes to go until half time. The low scoreboard tells you the Warriors 8 leading the Roosters 6.
As Curran brings the ball back. I think it's Curran back out there. Yep. Ball goes back to the left side. Well, you'd think it would be. He's the only bloke that wears headgear like that.
Yeah, he's the only one in number 13 too.
Thanks, Darryl.
Where for you, Davo?
Ball goes back to the left side. They run the ball to the line. Short pass to Aitken. Aitken takes it ahead. He's tackled 20 metres out. He'll play the ball 20 in from touch. Harris Tavita. They get the ball back one way. Harris Tavita dummies the other. Then he throws it out the back. Walsh and Harris Tavita together. See, the only way you can tell them apart, I reckon, when you're this far away, is one's wearing blue boots and one's wearing white.
They do, you're right. They've dropped the ball here.
They've dropped the ball, the Warriors. Fiddling around with Cosby, wasn't sure whether to pass it, whether to take the tackle, and in the end he was in two minds, and the Roosters have got a chance. The Roosters start to bring the ball back, and they've got to tackle the wrong way, but they've got possession.
Oh, well, they had an opportunity there when that ball was picked up, but there was no one on the outside who had the smart enough to back up that play, because there was an opportunity there for the Roosters, particularly a player like Sawali, to run the distance.
Yeah, they go back the right side, and away it comes out the centre of the park is Crichton, and Crichton works it back to within 40 metres of the goal line. Those guns are going off at Victoria Barracks.
Yeah.
Ball goes back to the left side. Away it goes through the hands. They've got a chance here. Goes to Tupanua, and they team up on Tupanua. That's a great tackle. Johnson, and there was another one in there as well, Sirinen. They went to Tupanua. At one of those times when perhaps going out the back would have been okay. They played the front man, but the Warriors read it too well. They go back the right side. Comes to Walker. Walker puts a grubber kick into the in goal area. Getting back as Cosby. He did well to pick that up. Did he get back in the field to play? No. Referee's thrown the whistle. The Roosters are offside, says the referee.
Someone's going to go and report him, maybe for a high shot on. Well, he slipped over. Look, if someone goes on the report for this, I feel a bit sorry for him because he slipped over. Bradley's the player, but I don't think Bradley's done anything here. Let me have a look. Well, he has hit him low, and he has hit him in the head. He has hit him in the head. You probably put him on reporter. Look, he was about a foot off the ground, and Bradley was going down to try and make a tackle, but, you know, if it's going to be anyone, it's going to be Bradley in this situation. He's dead set hit. He has hit him in the head, but it was very low to the ground.
Well, you could have said he was going for the ball because he didn't really have control of the ball at that stage, Cosby, did he? And Cosby's holding his shoulder.
Well, that's probably going to help Bradley a little bit.
Victor on report.
Victor on report.
No, it wouldn't be a game if Victor wasn't on report.
Or Victor and Maria Hargreaves. It wouldn't be a game if both of them weren't on report. He comes down. He went down low, and Radley had to. Yeah. Radley would have had to beat a mole to get any lower.
And you know what, David? The thing is, there was no swinging arm in it. He was just trying to make a tackle, and the player, as you said, the winger, Cosby, was about a foot off the ground.
Fair to say, Piggy, the winger has headbutted Radley in an attempt to get the ball back into the field of play.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else he could do in that situation. He's diving to get out of the in-goal area, as you boys have mentioned, and unfortunately he has hit him in the head, but he couldn't do anything else. It was just an unfortunate accident.
If Radley had stood there, his head still would have headbutted Radley, irrespective of what part of the body it was.
How long ago do you reckon that happened? This has been going on for 90 seconds. The winger's back in his position. I think he's coming off here.
Wait for the tap.
Well, he's probably got because it's on report.
But it's the shoulder that's the problem.
Yeah, he's on report, so they can go for an HIA, see? Even though we know he held his shoulder. Well, it's been a pretty lacklustre first half, although at the moment the Warriors lead 8 points to 6. About 28 metres out to their own goal line. They get up and play the ball, the Warriors. In centre field, Curran goes for a run. And he's tackled around about 32 metres out from his own goal line. You're listening to the continuous call team. And the more I look at Cosby, the winger, he's holding his collarbone and his shoulder. Yeah. So if he's going on for a head assessment, doesn't pass muster. Although the man, Bradley, was put on report for a swinging arm that made contact with the head.
That's true, Davo.
Ball comes to Johnson. Johnson pumps it high in the air. It's coming down 10 out from the goal line. The try scorer, Tupou, goes
Good player, isn't he? He's just a good player. The Roosters now, look at the forwards trying to get back on side. They've pooped their forwards. They're still not back on side. Beryl's, where's Beryl's? He's there. Matt Butcher, who's only just gone out there, he can't get back. Fletcher Baker's struggling to get back in the line as well.
It's the blokes that haven't been out there long that are finding it hard. As the ball goes across to Tedesco, and Tedesco goes back towards the centre of the park. He's tackled 31 metres out. 4 to go in the first half, and the Warriors lead 8-6 thanks to Lowe. As Keary decides to pump it down the other end of the field. Going back as Walsh. Walsh goes out of the sun, into the shadow of the big light tower, then comes back into the sun, and he's going to be tackled about 22 metres out from his own goalpost at the northern end of the field. The Bradman stand, or the MA Noble stand end, they go back to the left side of the field. Pompey goes for a gallop. He's going to be tackled. Now, what have they got out there? Who's Curran gone out to the left wing, has he? Or is he just filling in out there at the moment? I'd say Aitken's probably gone to the centres and Pompey's gone to the wing, you would think, with Gozzy off.
Yeah, Pompey's gone to the wing. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Curran's actually playing one inside him, but they're just trying to work the ball
Aitken's
out.
gone back out there now. He's played most of his footy in the NRL as the centre. Ball fed back to the centre of the park, and they work it just over the halfway, the Warriors. We've got just on 3 minutes to go in the first half. The ball's going to be played 41, 42 metres out. I'll come back now to Johnson. Johnson goes to the line again. He seems afraid to run it. Ball goes a high kick, picked up by Tupou, and Tupou will do well to avoid the three-man tackle and get put back into the in-goal area. Do well. He just made it look easy. Yeah. He just bumped one bloke off, bumped another off, and went to ground.
He's been one of their better players. It has been all year. Now they're trying to get out of their own area. Here's Sawali once again. Half-pipe puts his head through the line here. I think it's only a matter of time before he bursts through.
Well, it's the right winger coming over the left side of the field to take a bit of pressure off. Baker takes the head for the Warriors. 2.5 to go in the first stanza as Verrills goes back to the left side, and they take it ahead strongly again, the Roosters. They're only 32 out from their own goal line. Last play comes to Keary, and Keary just hoists it down the centre of the park, away from both the winger and the fullback. Then it takes a horrible turn down that end of the field. Well, there is a cricket pitch not far away from there. That was a good bit of off-spin. That really bit and turned.
I think he probably may have got some sandpaper on before he kicked it.
Oh,
David.
And we see one of the New Zealand players coming back past Piggy at the moment. As it looks as if someone's injured there, Pig. Is that Katoa?
Yeah, it's Alisa Katoa. He's come off the field. He's made his way right around. It's been a long walk for him, but he looks okay going back to the bench.
Well, he was, of course, one of the replacements that went out there midway through the first half. So he actually went out there, I think, when Curran first went down. So the Warriors trying to play basketball with it, and the crowd roaring, thinking it was a knock-on, but the referee said knock back. 1.5 to go in the first half, and the Warriors lead by 8 points to 6. Johnson has it. Quick hands, the ball goes through the hands. Now a grubbing kick downfield. Goes along the western touchline, goes into touch, a metre out from the corner post.
I almost called Bailey Sirenen then. He almost touched the ball then, Bailey. Have you called his name?
I've called him doing one there. He got the ball once. But they keep cutting him out.
Yeah.
Or they don't go. Now, Watini Zelezniak's only touched the ball when he brought the ball back. Because every time he gets to Johnson, he kicks it.
Yeah.
That's the first time I reckon Johnson's passed.
David, it's been an average game of football. The Warriors have been better than the Roosters, but my goodness, it's been an average game of football.
Ball fed now to Crichton, and Crichton brings it ahead, and Crichton's tackle. As I said, it looks as if the Roosters spent all day yesterday with the 2002 premiers, and maybe the Warriors went out with them. The ball comes across now. Long cut-out pass comes to Tupou. Tupou tries to come back on the inside. He does eventually. Goes to Tedesco. Tedesco's gathered up by Johnson. He'll play the ball 30 out from his own goal line. 8 metres in from touch. Neither of the players, the defender or the attacker, were keen to get up quickly there. As Baker gets the ball in the centre of the park, it comes to Butcher, and Butcher and Baker combine well. And why wouldn't they on an Easter weekend? The ball's played about 9 short of the halfway line.
The chance on the right here. They've called half-time. Geez, I thought he might have been a bit premature then, David. You know a bit about that.
Well, the reason, Darryl, is that he had his foot on the ball, which surely means the play-the-ball process has started when the siren started. But I'm not going to knock. See, don't forget, the referee gets told by the bunker, time's up. They count down on his headphones. So the siren going off here might have been 1 second after he was told at 0. So I'm not going to knock the referee for going off there. Well, look. What a terrific first half of football on a gorgeous day.
David, we've had two of them in 2 days. Last night wasn't much better.
Well, 8 points to 6 at half-time in favour of the Warriors. Cozzy scored a well-taken try on the left side. Walters kicked 2 from 2. Tupou scored a good and well-taken try for the Roosters on their left side, and Walker converted that from the sideline. At half-time, the Warriors lead the Roosters 8 points to 6.
Thank you very much, Davey. Still to come this afternoon, the game in Wollongong between St George Illawarra and Newcastle. We'll update the scores and get the boys' thoughts on that match getting underway a little bit later, at about 4:05. You'll be able to see that on Nine's Wide World of Sports. 8 points to 6. Warriors lead the Roosters. You're listening to Easter Sunday Rugby League with the continuous call theme as we do it on 2GB, 4BC, 2CC and network stations across Australia.
All right, lads, look, it's been a bloody soft first half. Johnson, mate, you're asleep out there. Stand up straight. Belly, you're looking absolutely stretched. Hairline, where's the staying power? Stop going backwards.
Treating common men's health problems shouldn't be hard. Pilot connects men in Australia with real doctors online for best-in-class treatments for common health issues. For easy, safe and confidential healthcare from the comfort of home, visit pilot.com.au today. Pilot, level up your health.
And Picker, try making it to the siren this time.
My Macca's Rewards has arrived. Get that surprise Macca's for dinner feeling when you earn points to redeem on your favourites, like a Big Mac. Download the My Macca's app and start earning today. Value means more at Macca's. T's and C's apply. See our website for details.
Here at Gulf Western, our oil is that good. It speaks for itself. It's even good enough for the lone rider. Check him out at gulfwestern.com.au. Gulf Western Oil. Go the distance.
You can't go past IGA for hundreds of weekly specials right across the store. Like Heinz Big and Chunky Canned Soup, 535 gram selected varieties, only $2.50 each. Now at IGA. Offer ends April 19th. Participating stores only. Excludes IGA Express and local grocer.
Harvey Norman Super Easter Weekend. Dyson V7 Motorhead cordless vac. Great price, $449. Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop, $1,296 plus bonus $100 gift card. Samsung Galaxy S21 FE, $898. Save $100. Samsung 75-inch 4K Smart TV, $1,495, save $300. Plus, add a JBL soundbar with wireless subwoofer and detachable rear speaker, $795, save $200. Super Easter Weekend, on now at Harvey Norman.
You're listening to the continuous call team on 2GB 873. Thanks to McDonald's, Harvey Norman, Pilot, Ampol, and Catch Fitness.
Pass away to Poppy. Poppy to Cozzy, and Cozzy comes round and scores. Opening try, the match goes to the Warriors as well. After they kick the early penalty goal, Tedesco throws the dummy. Long pass to Tupou, and Tupou does what he does brilliantly. He scores a try in front of the member stand. 8 points to 6 at half-time in favour of the Warriors.
First half highlights, that's what you want to call them. 8 points to 6. Warriors lead the Roosters here at the SCG, as we, of course, broadcast thanks to our naming rights partners. McDonald's, dinner's sorted, dine-in, drive-through, delivery. Daryl Brome and Mark Riddell with me to look at the first half action. The Warriors in front by 2, Big Man.
And I think they deserve to be in front too, Mark. The Roosters only scored a try, probably about 7 minutes to go until half-time, and I've got to say, up until then, they were quite average. I'll tell you I'm disappointed in Luke Keary. I think he's having an ordinary game. I love Luke Keary. I think he's an outstanding footballer, but he hasn't had a great season. He's not taking the line on. He's not directing him. He's not putting anyone through any gaps. And I think that probably affects the performance of Sam Walker a little bit as well. I just think they've been off their game. They've been, for mine, lacklustre. They look like they've come out here believing they were going to win the game and win it easily. And I must admit, I thought that as well. But their opening 5 or 6 minutes I thought was okay. Then from that moment onwards, it just went downhill for mine. I think the Warriors out-enthused them and outplayed them for a fair bit of that first half. And I'd have to say, I think the Warriors have been unlucky to be only 2 points in front at half-time. I think they deserve to be further ahead. And, you know, I think at the moment, if you had a look at the bookies or whatever, the Roosters would still be favourites to win this game, but I don't know why, because they're not playing them.
Darryl, you know you often say you're the body language expert.
Yes.
I had the binoculars on Trent Robinson as he made his way from the Brawongle stand over towards the member stand. And off his body language, I think the Roosters might be getting a spray at the moment.
Well, you know what? We were talking about it yesterday. I think in our game we were watching it, and Justin Holbrook at half-time was very calm after his Titans dished up an awful first half. I just said, I think I said to David, I said that the coaches give them a hiding at half-time anymore. Does that happen anymore in this era? Apparently not, but I reckon he'd be giving him a hiding because they were terrible. Luke Keary's got to find a way of going to the line and maybe drawing some defenders and putting someone into a gap. But there's no one running into gaps. There's no one running with any conviction. Even Tedesco doesn't look the James Tedesco we've seen for the last decade or whatever. You know, there's no real energy and life in them. I don't know what to think. They don't look
like the Roosters, do they?
They don't. They're awful. And they've been bad most of the year. Yep. You know, with the odd exception, they've been pretty average. They've been beaten by Newcastle. And there's a few, I can't remember who else beat them, but besides it shouldn't beat the Roosters are beating them.
Yep. All right, let's get downstairs. Mark Piggy-Riddell, your thoughts on the first half of the Warriors leading 8 points to 6?
Yeah, I've got to say, as you boys have already mentioned, it's been a tough half of football to watch. Had a lot of expectations on the Roosters today. We already know they're celebrating the 2002 Premiership team. And I agree with you, Mark. I think Trent Robinson will give them a rocket at half-time. And I think you've got to be very selective these days when you do that as a coach, and they've got to be timed well. But from what we've seen in the Roosters in the first half, and what Trent Robinson would expect from his team, I think there is going to be a big rocket at half-time. Very disappointing. For the Warriors, look, they've come out and they've had a crack. They've really stuck it to this Roosters outfit. Let's remember they're shooting for 4 in a row, I think, the Warriors, if they can win this game. So there's plenty on the line for them. But I've just been really disappointed in the whole Roosters game in that first half. They really lack the go forward and the quick play the balls to play off the back of it. It's a very slow stop-start game, and I don't think it suits them.
8 points to 6, Warriors lead the Roosters. Piggy, Darryl and I have noticed something up here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you slowly moving your chair with the shadow of the light post here at the SCG?
It is that hot down here with the sun. I am so glad I brought my hat, because my bald head would be that red if I didn't bring it. So.
What about some sunscreen? Have you got any down there?
No, I don't have any sunscreen.
David, could you take some down?
Slip, slop, slap, as we all say.
I'm going to move a little closer. Look.
Yeah,
I'm in the shade.
Good idea, mate. Good idea.
Boys, while I've got you, that later game, we'll tidy up the tips a bit later on, but St George Illawarra and Newcastle, Piggy, I've had a few people I know who live down your way. It sounds like they're going to get a decent crowd on a big Sunday, nice day down in the Illawarra. Who are you tipping in that game?
I'm tipping the Dragons. I want to see something from them. They've been so disappointing to start the season. There's a lot of pressure on their coach, Hook, and the selections that he's making in the team. For crying out loud, hopefully he gives these kids a go. That's what everyone wants to see down there on the South Coast. We want to see the energy and the enthusiasm from those youngsters, but I'm not sure if the final teams have been named yet, Levy, but
not yet.
We've got to see something from them. They're at home, beautiful Sunday afternoon in Wollongong. Should be a big performance from them.
Just quickly, Darryl, I know you're pretty confident in the Knights today.
Yeah, look, the Dragons can't get me. I've seen them, and in saying that, the Knights haven't been that good either, but I just think today's the day for the Knights. Clemmer, I think, is back in the side. He'll make a difference, and I think their go forward will be better, and I think they can win tonight.
All right, once that C News comes through, we'll let you know at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. I should mention, too, St George Illawarra leading the Blacktown Workers Sea Eagles by 24 points to 4 in the New South Wales Cup down there. There's 25 minutes left in the second half. 24-4. Dragons leading the Sea Eagles there in the New South Wales Cup. Here at the SCG, it's 8 points to 6. Warriors lead the Roosters. Let us know where you're tuning in, what you're up to on this public holiday Sunday, Monday, this public holiday long weekend. You can text us 0460 873 873. You can shoot through an email as well by going to the website where you click onto the feedback icon. Siv's listening to the program. Reg has been in touch as well. The patella ligament at the lower front of the knee is what you were looking for, boys. The patella ligament at the lower front of the knee.
You know what? I like it on bread, patella. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Darryl.
Chocolatey, peanutty.
Keep them coming. 0460 873 873. You can even get Nutella hot cross buns these days, Darryl.
Patella is beautiful. And it's cheap, you know. I can eat it by the spoon.
I just find those tendons a bit chewy, though, that's all.
Oh, they're beautiful.
8 points to 6. Warriors lead the Roosters. We're back for the second half.
I don't know about you, but I'm never sure when the shops are open over the Easter long weekend. Luckily, I do know for certain that Flower Power is open every day. And even better, we're having a store-wide sale. All full-price plants, pots, bagged products and garden essentials are 20 to 50% off. Plus, a range of furniture and all our homewares are 20 to 50% off too. Some exclusions apply. So for big store-wide savings every day this Easter, come to Flower Power, the garden people.
Heading off. Loading up. Heating up. Sauce. They're gone. Heading home. At home. Truckies fit a lot into a day. Whatever your journey, we're the fuel that gets you there. Ampol, Australia's own.
Whether it's work or play, the Ram 1500 pickup makes light work of any challenge. Legendary capability meets luxury sports utility vehicle, taking your driving experience to the next level. Move more, tow more, do more, and enjoy more. The unrivaled Ram 1500 pickup range is more than just you. Visit ramtrucks.com.au.
It's the weekend, so why not take a trip to a Homeworld display village? See why it's the leading destination for new home building. 5 locations to choose from, over 330 display homes to explore. See the latest in new home building trends from 50 leading building companies. Compare designs, floor plans, promotions and more. Homeworld, open from 10 till 5 today. So why not take a drive and start planning your new home? For locations and info, homeworld.com.au.
You're listening to the continuous call team on 2GB. Thanks to McDonald's, Ram Trucks, Gulf Western Oil, Lowe's and Network Building Supplies.
Great to have you with us on the continuous call team. A big weekend, and we're back tomorrow, Big Man, from Combank Stadium for Parramatta and West Tigers. You seem surprised by that.
No, I forgot about that. Well, no, you know what I was thinking, you know what, when today's over, I'll have to go home and there's another boring week ahead of me, but no.
No.
Going tomorrow.
Giving his guts. And, Davey, you'll appreciate this message. I read a story today about a bloke we know, Blake Shin, the former Sydney jockey who's been over in Hong Kong. He's heading home. The mental stress he's struggling with it a little bit at the moment. And I spoke to him this morning and mentioned that we were calling the football, and he's a bit of a Roosters follower. He's listening to the program, really enjoying it. He says, thank you to everyone for the well wishes. It'll be good to head home and restart his racing journey, so to speak, in Sydney or Melbourne, wherever he decides
he's
to
going to
set up.
Good on him.
Yeah.
He's one of the most pleasant young men in the saddle, I can tell you that. Very presentable, as I said to you. The most impressive thing about Blake Shin the day we were at the sales, I said so many other jockeys roll up in a pair of boots that are about 10 years old, pair of old jodhpurs. He rolls up in slacks that look as if they've just been bought, brand new pair of boots that were shiny as anything, sports coat and everything, as if he might meet the owner who's got $10 billion worth of horses and I'd like you to be my stable jockey. You never know when the opportunity will come up, and he presented himself perfectly that day.
One of the biggest nights of my life was the year that he won the Melbourne Cup on View. I was working for this radio network down there,
by the length, anyway,
reading the news, and I went down to the jockeys room after the last to go and join in the festivities. And he says, the tradition is the winning jockey has a party the Melbourne Cup night. And he said, Lev, you've got to help me organise the party. I said, well, where do you want to go? So we went to this long bar or something in Melbourne, and all these AFL players were turning up, and he didn't want them there, so I had to go and kick all these AFL players out so we could just have the racing people. And I think my lasting memory was sitting in the casino about 4 a.m. in the morning. I was on a 5 a.m. flight to get back to Sydney, and I thought, I've got to go, champion. It was a great night, and I'll tell you what, big man, drinking beer out of the Melbourne Cup, geez, it tastes good.
No, I've never done that. What do you mean does it? Have you done it, David?
Well, when Protectionist won the Cup in 2014, which was sadly the last cup that I actually attended with Drew Morford. Drew passed away 3 years later, but I didn't actually go to the cup with him. But I remember about 15, 20 minutes after it won, Big Walter Power, who I've been lucky enough to own a few racehorses with, he part-owned Protectionist, owned a fair bit of it. brought the cup into an area where Yarravin Park were holding, they're holding a special little court sort of thing for their owners. And, yeah, I've got some photos.
Davey was last seen at the taxi rank drinking out of the cup. It's all mine, I'm taking it home.
Well, I was certainly seen doing that too. That was later in the night.
A couple of quick text messages before we get back into the second half. The Foss in transit to the Knights Dragons game. Go the Knights. Happy Easter, boys. Thank you, the Foss. And Ben's listening to us, sitting with the family at the SCG. Do you know why these shaded areas are vacant? I think you'll find, Ben, because for the TV spectacle, they want to look like there's a few people here. Otherwise, you'll have everybody sitting on this side of the field, the western side of the field, which doesn't really look all that good on television. 8 points to 6, Warriors lead the Roosters. Thirsty, to yours for the second half.
Well, and you could, look, if you're sitting out there, I can imagine you saying, well, why are we sitting here and